Welcome to day 4 of our daily Bible devotions. And this week, we're examining the letter of Paul to the Galatians and Ephesians. And today, we're going to reflect on Paul's letter to the Ephesians. If you remember the overview video of the Bible Project, it was mentioned during the first part about the same power that raised Jesus from the dead. Talks about power. Again, I want to mention Shaman King, one of the anime that is very remarkable for me. Because I mentioned yesterday about Shaman King that once the shaman puts in himself the soul of the dead person, the skills, the power will belong to him. He will have that ability. He will experience that power. And yesterday I compared that to Christianity, how similar it is to what happens to Christian believers, that we receive the righteousness of Christ. We receive the power of Christ. And Paul told the Ephesians that the same power that raised Jesus from the dead is the same power that those who believe in Jesus experience. Do you want to experience that power? Think about that power that raised Jesus from the dead. Can you imagine? What kind of power is that? Would you like to experience that power? It sounds like a fantasy, it sounds like an anime, but there is that power. That power belongs to God, obviously. It doesn't belong to us because yesterday we just established that you cannot do it on your own. So this power, since it does not belong to us, we cannot work to get that power. No matter how hard we try, we cannot, because that power does not belong to us. The power of the gospel is the same power that raised Jesus from the dead, and we don't have that power. No, which is why Ephesians chapter 2 talked about God's grace, talks about God's gift. That power is God's gift. The power of salvation, the power of gospel is God's gift to us. And we get that through faith. It is a gift from God. Ephesians 2 says, so that no one can boast. This is contrary to what the world teaches. Not so many literature and philosophies in this world teaches you that you have the power within. You have the hero within. That if you will just focus, if you will just commit, if you will just meditate, if you will just make a resolve, you can harness that power within. Be strong. Well, there's some truth in that because we are creations of God. He intended us to exhibit that power. But that power, ultimately, especially the power of salvation, that belongs to God. That does not belong to us. The power to be good, the power to be righteous, the power to be transformed, the power to change, we don't have that power. That power belongs to God, and we can only have that as a gift. This empowers us. We are able to exhibit the gifts of the Holy Spirit that was mentioned also in Paul's letter to the Ephesians. We can have the power to teach. We can have the power of wisdom. We can have the power to minister. All these powers. And I experienced it personally recently. And some members of our church prayed for me. And they're supposed to prophesy about me. And to be honest, it's not that I'm skeptical. I'm just open, but I don't know what to expect. So, closed our eyes, they prayed over me. And when they started speaking, I met them for the first time, but it's like they know me. It's like they know what's inside my heart. They know what burdens my heart. They know my anguish. They know what's happening to me in many areas of my life. And how can they do that? That is actually the gift of the Holy Spirit. That is a power that comes from God. I know they don't have that because there is no way they can know those things about me. But they're able to say that because they were empowered by the Spirit of God. Do you want to have that power? The power of the gospel is available for everyone. And it is to make us all one. And it is to make us one with God. I will repeat. The power of the gospel is available for everyone to make us all one and to make us one with God. What do I mean by that? In Paul's letter to the Galatians and to the Ephesians, there's always this issue of the Jews versus the Gentiles. In the Bible Project video, it always uses the term multi-ethnic. That is a more generic term because it's multi-ethnic. The Jews, it's a specific ethnic group. Now, the concern is that the Jews always believe that salvation only belongs to them. The power of God only belongs to them because they are the chosen people. But when Jesus came, He broke that. He made it available for everyone. And that is the gospel. That is the good news. It doesn't belong to just the Jews. It belongs to everyone now. Paul is emphasizing that. Paul is teaching that to the Galatians and to the Ephesians because some people forget that. Some people actually twist that. It's like they embrace what Jesus teaches but focuses on saying, yeah, this is just for the Jews. Now, to say that it belongs to Gentiles as well, it means it belongs to the Jews and to the non-Jews. Basically, it belongs to everyone. It belongs to me, it belongs to you, it belongs to everyone who's willing to follow Jesus. Now, if it belongs to everyone, if it is available to everyone, if it is available for every ethnic group, God intended it to make all ethnicities to be one. One in Him, one in spirit, one in power, one with God. And that is why towards the latter part of the letter to the Ephesians, there's a mention of two things. Ephesians chapter 5, there's a mention about marriage. I'll go back to that later. And then Ephesians chapter 6, there's a mention about the armor of God. Armor of God is that being able to wield the power of God by wearing it, by putting it on your own. It's the clear manifestation of how you become one with God, how you exhibit the traits, the characteristics of God, the belt of truth, the breastplate of righteousness, helmet of salvation, feet of readiness, shield of faith, sword of the Spirit. It's like being equipped, that armor, that makes you one with God. But a clearer picture of that is the Ephesians 5, which is marriage. Marriage is about being one. And that is what God intends with what Jesus did on the cross. Jesus died for us. Jesus saved us on the cross to give us the good news that God can be one with us. We can be one with us in the same way that in marriage, a man and a woman can become one. That is the picture. So let me go back to my first question. Do you want to experience that power? Do you want to experience the power that belongs to God? It sounds too good to be true. It's a legit offer. Because if you really want to experience that power, you know what to do. You simply have to follow God. You simply have to follow Christ.